Hollow Knight is a game with plenty of attacking options. Some attacks can grant you invincibility, while others have great range, but today we only care about one type of attack: nail arts. These greatly underrated attacks are capable of very impressive feats, and that's why we will answer the question: can you beat Hollow Knight using only nail arts? So, in order to start this challenge, we need to establish some rules. First of all, mods will be used to give me all nail arts at the very start of the game. This includes Cyclone Slash, Great Slash, and Dash Slash. Attacking with normal nail hits or spells isn't allowed. I'm going to consider as attacking everything that either deals damage or changes something gameplay-wise. This means that, for example, pogoing enemies and hitting levers with nail strikes are banned actions. The playthrough will be done in Steel Soul, just to add some fun. Bench warping isn't allowed. The run will be considered successful if the credits are reached. The ending achieved is irrelevant, so I will get the basic ending. If this video gets nice reception, I might try and do true ending. I think those rules create a nice balance between reasonable and fun, and now that those are out of the way, let's start the run. It's the very first second of the challenge and we already have to do weird stuff, as walls have to be broken with nail arts rather than normal hits. This ended up being more fun than normal. We unfortunately cannot get Fury of the Fallen, but at least breaking this door is more satisfying than ever. We start by saying hi to Wholesome Elderbug, since we don't want our run to be invalid. We go down and the next step will usually be getting Vengeful Spirit, but we actually do not want it, and we wouldn't even be able to use it because of our own rules. So how do we get in Greenpath? The strategy usually is to shoot the Elder Baldur with Vengeful Spirit, but is this doable with nail arts? My first guess was Dash Slash, since it has the largest range out of all nail arts, but there is a tiny problem. We don't actually have dash, so we cannot perform it. But as it turns out, Cyclone Slash can do the work. Shout out to Ender for showing me this cool Cyclone Slash strat. What do you want to do here is perform a Cyclone Slash, get close to the Baldur, then away so that it opens up, and then get close again. It's tricky, but it works, and with that we can get into Greenpath. And that's the first major issue done. The first sections of Greenpath are pretty straightforward. We get some money in the way, and then we get here. I'm trying to make this challenge as speedrun-like as possible, so I thought that maybe a squid skip without pogo was doable. It wasn't, and I had to go the long and intended way. But hey, at least we got 2 grubbies and some more money. I also found out that you can skip a small section thanks to the range of Great Slash, and now it's time to bully Hornet. One thing I discovered while doing Radiant Hornet Sentinel nail arts only is that she takes no knockback at all while throwing her needle, which means that she will take a full Cyclone Slash every time that she performs that attack. And oh, poor Hornet, she wasn't prepared at all. Let me show you in a quick montage. And now that we have Dash, Mantis Claw is our new challenge. We go back to Dirt Mode, get some more money, and start our way down to Fungal Wastes. It's a pretty standard descent from here. It seemed quite weird and difficult because when you step on a mushroom, you actually cannot jump, you only bounce on it automatically. But I discovered that if you release your nail art just as you step on the mushroom, you can both walk and jump from it. There is unfortunately no explosion pogo for us, but we can keep going down with little to no issue. Mantises aren't that big of a deal. And just like that, we can get Mantis Claw. As I mentioned previously, I'm aiming for some speedrun strats, and what will usually happen on any percent is that we will make a shade skip to Blue Lake and get Dreamnail. But there are two problems. We cannot pogo and we cannot die because of Steel Soul. That's why I decided to take a look at the Steel Soul any percent route. And it goes to Deep Nest. And with that I only have to do this very easy jump, and I will just try that jump again, and I actually spent 20 minutes trying to jump over that mushroom. It's impossible, so I changed the routing a bit, and instead of going for Dreamnail, we are going for Crystal Dash first. Time to get 1800 geo, I guess. So now we need to collect money for buying a lamp. 1800 geo is quite a bit, but it isn't impossible. We will start by getting into Queen Station and maybe getting this mask shirt as well. We then go to Dirt Mode, and from there we can get money from a lot of places. And yeah, let's get another mask shirt. I guess I'm committing to a new mask now. Apart from random Georocks spread all over the map, our best option for money is defeating False Knight, since we get a lot of money from that. It's a very easy fight. I definitely didn't get hit during the fight. Yeah, let's not talk about that. Then I decided to go to Ancestral Mound, because defeating Baldurs with the Cyclone strat is funny, even though that doesn't give us a lot of money. At least we get Soul Catcher from there. After that I went on and fought Gross Mother. I cured Sly from Dementia and... wait a second. So technically we have all Nailords, and Sly gives us Nail Master's Glory once we get the 3 of them. I'll go and get it immediately. Nailords are very comfortable to use with it. And now that we are powerful and unstoppable, let's save 2 more Grubbies. Hopefully Grubfather will pay us a lot for the little boys that we have saved. I also remembered Benchfly King and the money that the Moss Knights have, so I went into Greenpath. That's another Grub saved, and oh yeah, Benchfly King isn't there anymore since we left so to die. Whoops. I guess I'll kill some Baldurs then, and oh, 1 more Grub added to the list. I genuinely forgot how many of these fellas were in the game. I went back to the Forgotten Crossroads since I thought Brooding Mullet gave money as a reward for beating it. It turns out that it doesn't, but we got a 6th mask, which is pretty nice. But I ran out of ideas, so we might as well farm the hell out of this guy, and that's it. 1800 geo and a beautiful lamp. We only have to buy this thing, and yeah, I'll just speedrun getting 50 geo, I guess. After actually buying that thing, we get into Crystal Peak. This place ended up being easier than I thought, because both the Husk Miners and the Gleanbacks die after getting hit by a full cyclone, so fighting them was a breeze. Then I got this grub and continued my path. I found the Shopkeeper's Key, which might be useful if we end up going for true ending at some point, and after a very simple platforming, Crystal Dash is ours, and that mushroom that we couldn't jump won't be a problem anymore. But before going back to that mushroom, I saved 2 more Grubbies on the way out. We can finally get back to Fungal Wastes, and this room is done with our beautiful Crystal Dash, and there's no more issue with that Seal Mushroom. Then we get this grub and start our journey to Deep Nest. Our goal here is getting Trampas. For that, we need to go down until we almost break our knees from falling into the hot spring, and then go left until we arrive at the failed tram. The only enemies there are Dirt Carvers and Carver Hatchers, which are a piece of cake using Nailords. I decided to kill all of them as bench warping won't be an option, and I'd rather have an easy way to go back without enemies. Now that the tram pass is in our hands, we use that tram and get into City of Tears from below. As always, gorgeous host remains free money, and after buying King's Station, we can get into Forgotten Crossroads, then take this tramway and finally get Dreamnail. The obvious step from here is getting the Dreamers, so I went back to face Watcher Knights. But then I noticed that we can't pogo this background object, and thus we need to get wings. But before that interesting trip, let's sell all of our relics and strengthen our nail. In order to get wings, we go down from City of Tears, crystal dash all the way to the left, go through these ultra RNG based enemies, and finally defeat Broken Vessel, which isn't that hard. Cyclone Slash was very useful against both the slam attack and the headbang attack, and with little to no problem, we have wings. I decided to go for this Grubby and for a pale ore before going against Watcher Knights, since I know that they can get tricky if you aren't able to deal much damage. I started going into Watcher Spire, defeat a couple of big guys, got another Grubby, and threw the Chandelier for more safety. In the end, my worries about Watcher Knights were unreasonably exaggerated, as the very first Watcher Knight died after only 2 Cyclones and 2 Slashes. I really thought that the fight will be harder, but I guess they don't have that much health in general, which is good for us, since we can continue our path and get our very first Dreamer. Fortunately for us, Hera the Beast and Malamon the Teacher are way easier to get than this. We'll go for Hera first. I decided to get into Deepness by the exact same place from the tramway, just the other way around. We start in Hidden Station, get into Tramway, then into the Hot Spring, and finally into the currently not dark rooms since we actually have a lamp. We get into Beasts then, and here I discovered that you can actually damage the vaults by just waiting until they finish their attack and doing a Great Slash. The hitbox for Great Slash stays long enough to both open their mouth and deal 1 hit of damage. Getting Hera isn't more complicated than that. And now we get this tax station, go back to Dirtmouth, win a lot of money from the rubbish we have saved during the run, and go down and to the left. We obviously nail these acid skip first try, because easy, and save another rubbish before Umu. This boss isn't hard at all, there isn't that much to say either. Just a normal fight with plenty of waiting for Quarrel to attack, and once that's done, we get Manamon. And with that, we are ready for the final boss. But before actually fighting the final boss, I wanted to show this cool trick. It happens if you start performing a Cyclone Slash as the Temple of the Black Egg starts cracking up. It's just a funny trick I learned from Rhapsody. And now, it's time for the real battle. And yes, we have done it. The answer to the question, can you beat Hollow Knight using all the nail arts, is yes, absolutely. We have done this challenge in just 2 hours and 45 minutes. Please subscribe and tell me in the comments below if you like this new format, and if you want me to do true ending with this save file. See ya!